Our two semi-finals games are in the books. The Storm got up 18-13 over the Roosters with an incredible finish, and the Warriors absolutely pumped the Knights. So very, very good viewing it was actually. The two very high-quality games, or high-quality play at least, even though the second game wasn't too close. But yeah, up the wires on that one there. But the Storm here, 18-13. I thought the Roosters were going to get away with it. One thing to note here, guys, is the 19,500. So I actually thought they'd get a few more in at this game. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but there were 100,000 fans at the MCG just down the road. So yeah, that's that there. But the Storm continue to just do their work and just go about their business and just dominate year in, year out. So incredible work from them, and it ended up being all of the top four made it through to the prelim finals. So this is why it's so important through the year to make sure that you get things right and give yourself a chance to get into that top four and give yourself that second bite at the cherry, because both these teams, the Storm obviously coming off a pretty poor loss in that first one against the Bronx, they got another chance and they took it. And very much the same with the Warriors. It could happen if you come fifth and SJ's injured that game and you're gone, and that's it. Like, you have a really, really good season, but it's just not good enough. And so I think the way that they put the finals series together, the way that they do the draw, the way that the top four gets a second chance is very, very important, I think. So Storm get over the Roosters in this one, and really, really great game from Tyron Wishart, and it really helped them get over the line. Obviously, to get that try early on in the game, bit of a show and go, very, very quick, obviously, as well. So yes, in such a massive game for him in his career, obviously Storm, very, very important game for them. He really stepped up and did a good job there. And for the Storm to go up 10-0 early, it really showed how much resolve these Roosters have here to come back and end up being up 13-12 and have an opportunity to win this game if it wasn't for some Cam Munster brilliance at the end there. Just got to show that they're an amazing team, and they've done an amazing job in this back half of the year. But again, it very much shows with the Roosters, along with the Knights, two teams there that have come home with a wet sail and just haven't been able to get the job done in the end and win that sort of, in the Knights case, 10-11 in a row. In the Roosters case, to do a very similar thing as well. In that case, to be able to continue to just win and win and win. So it shows them what they can do, basically, anyway, for both of these squads. So that's it there. Let's get into the numbers a little bit. We had, Nick Meaney had a really, really solid game. Obviously, he missed a couple of his conversions there, got his 2 penalty goals, but really, really solid at the back, and just shows that he's such a guy that you can rely on week in, week out. And a big congratulations to him, because, coming over from the Dogs, we weren't sure how his career was going to go, and he's really, really improved from there. So look at the team stats while we're here now. Completion rate up at 80% for the Storm, 75% for the Roosters. And I was saying in the pre-game that the Roosters would have to complete somewhere around that 80% mark to be able to get the win over the Storm. They were very, very close, and that obviously cost them in the end, gave the Storm a chance to get the win. Everything else was fairly similar in this one. Average set distance a little bit up from the Storm, and play the ball speed a little bit up, a little bit lower for them as well, with the types of players that they had, and that was when they were able to score tries, is when they were able to get that roll on. You can see there was just like speed offload from Eli Katoa, which hasn't he just come on leaps and bounds at the moment. He's been awesome this year, since he's come over, and we knew he would do. And I think he'll get even better next year, and they're going to really need him as well. So that was kind of where the Storm got over the Roosters, was those few quick play the balls and that random offload or two that guys like Ellie could get, as I said there. You're looking at the kick defusals there, where we've got defense 83% for Storm, so they do come out of the line a bit. They do hit off and miss a few tackles, so it shows that, again, that doesn't make too much of a difference. And in a very low scoring game, very defensive from both sides, very different to how things have gone across the whole season anyway. Storm had 26 put on them last week, only 13 this week. Roosters a little bit decimated in the outside backs, and I think having Manu and these guys would have really helped. But as we said in the pre-game, it wasn't going to be a massive difference, I don't think, because the game was going to be won through the middle, and the Roosters did a great job of that. And you saw decent spots from Momorowski, from Corey Allen. They all had decent games there, and their wingers obviously as well, Jackson Barlow there, and Bonga, and did a really solid job there to help them out and put them in a really solid position. 10 errors each is not crazy. You can see the completion wasn't too bad there. And that's all we really have to say on that front. We'll move into some of the player stats there, and really just the work from guys like Terrell May. I think it's just coming on leaps and bounds at the moment, and he's absolutely going to be a must-have in my fantasy team next year. That's for sure. There you saw the work from the boys in the outside backs. A couple of them there over 100 meters. Obviously Teddy the 230. The centers there just doing their job, but defensively were really, really good. Yeah, and that's what you needed there. They all ran the footy well. Some good tackle breaks in there. It's cool to see the average play the ball speed from each player as well. Fletcher Baker absolutely flying. Wong there, Butcher, Victor Radley 2.79. So yeah, some of the players that are really, really good at that. Egan Butcher 5.26. You beauty. Yeah, not so great at all in that one there. So look at tackles made. So 19 for Momorowski for 2 misses, and Corey Allen 21 for 2. And that really helped them, as I said. Just keep Storm out. They had that one try off the offload that Eli Katoa had, and they also scored their first try down that right side as well with Tyron Wishart. So that was the spot to go. But for the most part, they did really, really well. Walker's making 23 for 4 misses. Not amazing. Lindsay Collins, you see here 6 missed tackles, but a lot of them you're bouncing off, and similar to that with Radley on that front as well. But as I said, it's going to be Terrell May that we need to look at going forward in the fantasy world. 84 points in this one. He didn't even play, he played decent minutes of 56, but it wasn't even ridiculous. You can expect somewhere around that 50 going on to the next, onto next year for sure. You had Butcher with a massive score as well. And Sammy Walker, I think he'll be there or thereabouts. He seems to just very easily get to about that 40 mark, and it's just, can he get to that extra step? Shout out to Brandon Smith for that nice try that he had as well. Very much Storm years, like the way that he scored that one. I suppose the last thing I wanted to say on this matchup was obviously the Sanders Smith effort in that second period. In that last 20 minutes was especially good. He did a cracking job there with that try that he set up, obviously for Lindsay Collins, but just to be able to cut through the middle there with a great step. Just shows that in these types of games, when the guys get very, very tired, that if you come on and you can play, that you played that last 18 minutes and was able to cut through the defense. And he's someone that I think they need to put a little bit of time into, because he was really solid at 7. He's played really solid as a 14 as well. So yeah, I think I just wanted to say I have a big shout out to him. And then obviously to finish things off with Cam Munster. Just an incredible kick over. There was a definite last-ditch play. I thought they were done, hey. And, he popped that over straight to Warbrick, and a terrific catch, and had a lot of work to do on the put-down as well, and he managed to do that really, really well. So, yeah, big shout-out to Warbrick on that. Amazing, amazing efforts there. As I said, they're going to have to... They're going to have to recruit in the middle. Eli Katoa is going to be good on that edge. You got Nelson, obviously does his thing with 43 minutes as well. It's just not enough time on the park. You need a bigger minute guy. You got Welch there that and he played 32 minutes in the end. So you got King playing massive minutes, doing his job, and you got Liero as a bit of a battler. Obviously, does his thing there. You've got Tarek Sims coming off the bench, Garlic. And Eisenhuth. Just not enough big minute guys that can do a cracking job for you in the middle. They're missing that, as we said, they lost a bunch. They're missing the AFB type. They're missing that tall Harris type that has a little bit of ball play and stuff through the middle as well, which we saw in that second game was incredible. So we'll move to that now. The Warriors 40 over the Knights 10. And the Warriors, with their beautiful crowd at home, came out and dominated from the start. And a Knights error, unfortunately, it was Greg Marzu, and he's had a few of them this year, a few games like that, where he'd make an error like that. And then Warriors go down and score. They also the Knights they try to make something at about halfway and get tackled over the sideline, which is cracking defense. They marked up, they numbered up, and Young didn't catch the ball properly but got whacked over the sideline. So I think it was the first 3 tries, so the first 12 to 13 minutes, that the Knights had a 0 completion rate. So they'd had 2 sets and failed to complete both of them with 2 errors. So that obviously put them on the back foot, being down 16-0. And they definitely got back into this match with Marzu's try, the token left side raid there. Ponga, Best, Marzu, which is, I said very, very normal there. They did well with that. They scored straight after half time as well. A really, really good try to get them to 16-10 before the Warriors just absolutely went away with it and dominated there. And some solid converting from Pompey. He missed a fairly easy one, and that first try in the first try there on the right-hand side to Chance. And, and then he really improved from there. So congrats to him. Absolutely doing his job when he needs to. So you look at possession, obviously they scored too many points, so plenty more time in possession, but completion rate was up at 82%. So 82% and having an attacking flair like that, amazing work. 78% for the night, so really it's just the start that cooked them and really put them behind the 8 ball, and they were trying to catch their tail from there. They did so much defensive work in that first 15 minutes that definitely took it out of them, and they didn't have an answer to the Warriors' juggernaut. They played incredible. Plenty of runs over the top there. Better play the ball speed as well. Only the 4 offloads, so they didn't even need it through that. It was just great play. We'll speak about that in a second there. And then the defensive efficiency, very, very, very high. So 89%. Didn't allow the Knights to get their tackle breaks, which is what their outside backs love to do, and then offload from there. So I think that was really important for them, that when the Knights did get an opportunity, they very rarely got a chance to in open play. And they really marked up defensively. So 409 tackles is so many, and just shows obviously the possession by the end really went to the Warriors, but it was like that the whole game, and they just had to tackle and end up missing plenty in that. But only 9 errors. Yes, they had the ball less, but 10-9 is very, 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 very solid in that front as well. So let's just talk about some of the play from the Warriors, and it's just so direct. Like you've got Wade Egan either getting into the line or digging in a step out of dummy half, getting the ball out in front. And that's been his biggest thing all year, is just getting the ball out in front to some of these incredible ball players. And Johnson was incredible in this one. Thankfully got through unscathed as well, but just squaring up the line every time. Even if he's not moving fast, he's always turning his body straight towards the defense. So he'll go sideways, and then he'll just turn his body into the defense. He'll engage one player and then send it out the back. And the way that they spread down that right-hand side is just magic, actually, how that works. And 297 meters for Chance, obviously a try in there as well. Getting some, getting a couple of tries out to Dallin as well. So 68 points for Chance on that front, and Dylan Lucas another 62. Obviously with the try for him, like as I said, he's going to be one of those must-haves, I think, next year if he gets that spot as well. It would just be very easily a 40 player, and then can go up to 50 and 60 in games where there's big tackles, or he can score a try or something like that. But the way they played to that right-hand side, you've got Tamari Martin, who kind of, he chimed in a couple of times on the right-hand side as well, and Johnson's going from right to left fairly comfortably as well. So they end up getting a try for Rocco Berry near the end as well. So it was Dallin, Chance, and Rocco down that right-hand side. He had Pompey kicking his goals with 6 goals there. Marcelo on the left got a nice try as well. So they have the odd one down that left hand side, and then just on the left hand side of the ruck there, Adam Fanua-Blake, that step that he put on was absolutely incredible. And the big thing you need to look at here is it's just the fact that he didn't have to play too many minutes. He played close to 30, I believe, in the first stint, and then came back on at the end, and they threw him off in the last few minutes as well. To get him only on for 42 minutes, he is going to absolutely relish that next week, and I know how important he is going to be next week. The only one that I thought that they should have taken off, at least with 10 minutes to go, was that of Tohu Harris, and the reason he played 80 minutes, I don't know. Obviously, being captain and just wanting to be out there and maybe enjoy it, I'm not sure, but he shouldn't have played the 80, in my opinion. They did really, really well with Adam Fanua-Blake, getting him 42 minutes. Obviously, Wade Egan as well, 67. Barnett played the 49. Ford was out there for the full 80. So, there's a few interesting ones there. On that front, Jazz Tavanga still getting him limited minutes at this point. And just really good play from Dylan Walker as well. So excited for him. He really deserved that try as well. And just seeing the opportunities, and they just go for it at the moment. They're going at a very... It looks like they do have a lot of time, but they're going at a very high speed. So they're just doing things exactly how you want to be doing things at the moment. And I give them a chance for next week. And we spoke about sort of the home ground advantage being the big thing at the moment, because the Warriors weren't playing very well, but they got back to some of their best footy, and that's exactly what we need coming into next week against the Broncos. So it's going to be obviously Panthers up against the Storm and Warriors up against the Broncos. They're going to be 2 cracking matchups there, that's for sure. And I definitely can't wait for that. And then the good thing is that the Warriors are playing well at this finally at this point of the season. They had sort of 4 to 6 weeks there where they were struggling to beat the lesser teams, and I'm not sure if that was just a clunkiness thing, or if that was we know we're likely going to win these games and we're probably in the four. But yeah, this is a really, really big one and gives them a chance next week up against the Broncos. And the Knights there, it just didn't, just nothing eventuated for them. They had one good play, as I said, in the first half, and then one at the start of the second half, and just other than that, things just didn't work out. And they had guys that were really trying, they were really working hard. You saw Frizzell just really trying to just bash people and be down there first in kick chase and do everything he could. Like Elliott played the big minutes to 67. I just felt off the bench as well. They just didn't have that punch. You had Croker and Hetherington doing their thing, but you had Jones and Kurt Mann playing low minutes. Kurt Mann got the head injury, unfortunately. Whacked himself into the pad, I believe, when Walker scored that try. They just didn't have enough. Defensively, obviously, just the start. I think a lot of time the start of games can really break you, and obviously good to gas them as well. So they were down on the scoreboard, and then they got gassed, and they just didn't have enough to come back when the Warriors were on a roll, had their home fans, and it just became too much for a team that hasn't had a lot of finals experience, obviously. And I think that became very apparent in this matchup there, that they just weren't ready for the after having the 90-minute effort last week as well, to come here and be down 16-0 and tackling their asses off. I think it just became a little bit too much for a team that doesn't have that finals resolve. And they'll be better for next year. I am looking forward to them next year. They're really going to be a team to be reckoned with. Their outside backs are obviously incredible. They didn't get much of a chance in this game to really show themselves. As I said, they let themselves down with the errors at the start. And then, defensively weren't able to keep the Warriors out. A really, really good team. They've been pretty great defensively over that last 3 months, but it just wasn't enough at the end of the season. And a very amazing season overall. I'm very glad that they got to have their home fans a win last week, and I'm very glad that the Warriors fans got to experience a home finals win. First time since 2008. So, very excited for them. I wish them all the best of luck into next week, and we'll get into the preview during the rest of the week. See you guys. Have a good weekend.